Thomas and Friends, making tracks to great destinations.
See Thomas in a brand new mystery-filled adventure.
Who is that little green engine?
Long ago, Luke did something very bad.
Whoa!
Can Thomas help his new friend, or will he be sent away from Sodor forever? Blue Mountain Mystery, out now.
Hit Entertainment presents Thomas and Friends in an all-new movie adventure, King of the Railway. A special guest comes to the island.
I give you Sir Robert Norramby, Earl of Sodor!
And the Earl has an engine of his own.
Are you Millie?
That's me.
The Earl has a surprise so special that all the engines will need to work together.
Together? Together? Together.
And the newest engine on Sodor
Meet my friend, Stephen! Surprise!
might be the oldest they've ever met.
Did you ever see knights in shining armor?
No! I may be old, but I'm not that old.
Stephen's quest to be really useful could lead to trouble.
Don't worry, Stephen. I'm coming to rescue you.
Thomas and Friends' most epic movie adventure yet. King of the Railway. Coming September 2013.
Not now, Charlie. Charlie, the playful purple engine, is always laughing and joking with whoever is there to listen.
Hey, Salty. Why are pirates called pirates?
I don't know, Charlie. Why are pirates called pirates?
Because they are.
Oh, good one, Charlie.
Not everybody likes Charlie's jokes, but sometimes they just can't help laughing anyway.
I've had enough of your jokes for one day, Charlie.
Oh, you haven't heard the one about the...
Not now, Charlie.
Hey, Thomas. What's pink and grey and has 4 feet?
I don't know, Charlie. What is pink and grey and has 4 feet?
An elephant with its tongue sticking out.
Oh, that tickles me.
Oh, good one, Charlie. Hey, Percy, Charlie's got a joke about an elephant.
Oh, I've got lots of jokes. What goes clump, 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 squish? Clump, 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 squish?
I don't know. What does go, clomp, 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 squish?
An elephant with 1 wet shoe.
But elephants don't wear shoes.
Oh, no. Isn't it silly?
One day, Charlie was on his way to pick up some trucks when he had a big surprise. He could hardly believe his eyes. Charlie didn't think there were any elephants on the island of Sodor. But there it was, as plain as day.
That elephant is in danger. I have to do something.
Charlie blew his whistle as loudly as he could. But the elephant didn't move.
I'd better get help. Thomas! Thomas, please! Hey, stop!
What is it, Charlie?
There's an elephant on the line, just behind us.
I don't have time for another joke right now, Charlie. I have to deliver my passengers.
No, really, it's back around the bend.
Not now, Charlie.
Charlie was surprised by Thomas's reaction. Later, he saw Percy pulling a goods train.
Percy, stop!
What is it, Charlie?
There's an elephant on the line and...
Oh, Charlie, I like your jokes, but if I don't get going, I'm going to be late.
But Percy, wait!
Not now, Charlie!
Charlie wasn't happy that Percy didn't believe him about the elephant. But as he arrived at the shunting yards, he was relieved to see Henry.
Henry, am I pleased to see you?
What is it, Charlie?
I saw an elephant on the line.
Oh, I do not have time for jokes now, Charlie.
Oh, but Henry!
Not now, Charlie.
Nobody believed that Charlie had really seen an elephant. As he made his way back to the docks, even Charlie began to wonder if it might not be true.
I did see an elephant, didn't I? It seems impossible. But... Whoa! That tree has fallen and broken a fence. The fence that surrounds... the elephant enclosure at the animal park. That explains it. I did see an elephant. It must have escaped from the Sodor Animal Park. Listen to me, everyone. There's an elephant on the loose.
An elephant? Ah, where?
Don't worry, Kanky. It's only one of Charlie's jokes.
Charlie needed to find someone who would take him seriously. Someone who would be able to help.
Wait, Charlie. Where are you going?
Harold, please help. There's an emergency.
Then you've come to the right place, Charlie. The Sodor Search and Rescue Centre.
Nobody believes me, Harold. But there's an elephant on the line.
An elephant? Are you sure?
Yes, it escaped from the Sodor Animal Park.
You're right, Charlie. This is an emergency. Let's go and find the elephant.
Radioed ahead to warn the park keepers. They were already mending the broken fence when he and Charlie arrived, but there was no sign of the elephant. Harold went higher for a better look, while Charlie and the park keeper searched for the elephant on the ground.
Oh, dear. I hope the elephant hasn't got into any trouble.
I think I've spotted it! Down near Brendan Docks! Follow me!
The children of Sodor were delighted to see an elephant out and about. Harold and Charlie arrived with the zookeepers and a special truck for the elephant. The elephant needed to be brought back to the animal park so it would be safe. The keeper guided the escaped elephant into the truck.
That's it, Charlie. She's in.
Thomas, Percy and Henry could hardly believe their eyes when they saw Charlie with the elephant.
Hey, look! Charlie was telling the truth about the elephant after all.
Oh, not that silly elephant story again. Whoa!
Everyone at the Sodor Animal Park was relieved to see the elephant return safely home.
Well done, Charlie. I hear you raised the alarm. You are a really useful engine.
Charlie had learned that when he told jokes all the time, nobody took him seriously. So he decided never to tell another joke again. But that decision didn't last very long.
Hey, Salty, how do elephants fly?
I don't know, Charlie. How do elephants fly?
By jumbo jets!
By jumbo jet. Oh, good one, Charlie.
Elephants.
Calling all engines! Calling all engines! It's Thomas! He's the #1 blue engine, with 6 small wheels, a short stumpy funnel, and a whistle. Thomas works on his very own branch line, with his 2 faithful coaches, Annie and Clarabel. Thomas loves to race with Bertie the bus, but often gets himself into trouble. Oh, Thomas. But Thomas is always helpful and works very hard. That's why he's a really useful engine. Wait a moment. Who's that coming down the line? It's Caitlin! Caitlin is a beautiful, streamlined engine. She carries passengers from the mainland to Sodor via the Vicarstown Rolling Bridge. Caitlin is an excitable and energetic engine. One night, when the bridge was closed, Caitlin spent the night at Tidmouth Sheds. Caitlin was so excited, she kept waking the other engines. But she soon realised that you need your rest if you want to do your best. That's why she's a really useful engine.
Wayward Winston. On the island of Sodor, everyone agrees that it's very important to keep the railway tracks in good and safe condition. But sometimes tracks get damaged. Then they become buckled and bumpy.
Trembling tenders! This is the bumpiest track I've ever seen!
Wobbling wagons! My parcels are being bumped and bounced all over the place.
Thomas was taking the Fat Controller and his family on a visit to Ulfstead Castle when they came to a very bumpy section of track.
Oh! 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 Thomas! Stop! Stop!
Cinders and ashes!
Oh, dear. This bumpy track must be repaired as soon as possible. Carry on, Thomas, but slowly now.
Soon, workmen started repairing the bumpy track. Each day, the Fat Controller came by in Winston, his inspection car, to see how the work was progressing.
Oh, sorry, Winston.
Don't worry, sir. Early days, early days.
Winston was very patient.
Easy does it. Whoa! Oh.
But Winston could hear the other engines laughing at him as they went past.
Here comes Wobbly Winston. Stop, start, start, stop. Make up your mind, Winston.
The next day, the Fat Controller and Winston arrived again to inspect the work on the track.
Don't forget to put on my brakes, sir.
Oh, yes. I was just going to do that, Winston.
The Fat Controller was always forgetting to put on the brake. And Winston was always having to remind him.
What's going on, Winston? You look sad.
It's the Fat Controller. He's not a very good driver.
I expect he's still learning.
Well, I wish he'd learn a bit faster. Sometimes I wish I could go off without a driver.
Oh, don't be silly, Winston. You need a driver.
Off we go, Winston. Good day, Percy.
Goodbye, sir.
The Fat Controller drove on a little further. He stopped again to inspect more repairs.
Don't forget to...
But this time, Winston didn't remind him to put on his brake. And Winston started to roll forward.
Without my brake on, I'm rolling on my very own. Woohoo!
Oh,
This is fun!
Winston!
Faster! Faster!
Winston! Come back here! Thomas, stop! Stop! Follow that inspection car!
Cinders and dashes.
Let's go!
Look at that! It's Winston! And he has no driver!
Come back, Winston! Come back! Young Winston is heading for trouble. Big trouble.
Winston was having the time of his life. He was rolling down the line all on his own. But Thomas and the Fat Controller weren't far behind.
No driver!
When the signalman saw that Winston had no driver, he tried to switch him off the main line. But he accidentally switched Thomas and the Fat Controller instead.
No, Thomas, not this way!
The signalman made an emergency call.
There he goes! Faster, Thomas! Faster!
The second signalman received the message. He switched Thomas back onto the main line.
Ha-ha! We're catching up! Well done, Thomas!
Meanwhile, Bertie was pulling up to a nearby crossing. He didn't know Winston was coming.
Oh no! The gate! Bertie! Sorry, Bertie, sorry!
Watch out, Bertie! Coming through!
Stay where you are, Bertie! Don't move!
All right, I won't move then. I wonder for how long.
Winston came speeding up to a junction. When he saw Paxton up ahead, Winston's signal turned red, but he couldn't stop.
Watch out, Paxton! Whoa!
Paxton put on his brakes. He stopped just in time.
I wonder what the big hurry is.
I don't like this anymore. I wish I wasn't going so fast. I wish I could stop. I wish I had a driver.
Winston was racing towards Tidmouth sheds. Then there was trouble. There were trucks ahead. And Winston couldn't stop.
Oh no! Help! I'm going to crash! Oh, 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 oh! Oh, now what's happening?
Winston was starting to slow down. Slower and slower and slower. Until he came to a stop.
What's happened?
What's happened? You've run out of petrol. That's what's happened.
Phew! I thought I was going to crash.
That was very irresponsible, going off without me. And dangerous, too.
But it wasn't all my fault, sir. I mean, you forgot to put on the brakes, sir.
Oh, my.
Oh, my.
I see. Of course. You're absolutely right, Winston. I should have put on the brake.
But I should have reminded you, sir. I realise now that I do need a driver.
Oh, well. No harm done, Winston. Early days, early days.
All the engines were happy when the work on the line was finally finished.
New tracks! That's better!
So, no more wobbling wagons?
No more shudders and shakes.
Unless you're Winston, that is.
The engines all laughed, but Winston didn't mind. He was glad to have the Fat Controller back in the driving seat once again.
Here comes Thomas, he's on a run. He's on the rails, he's having fun. Every day there's something new, friends to see and things to do. Percy, Gordon, Henry too. Everyone has a job, it's true. You have to hurry, you can't be late. All the engines on time today. Whoa, let's go, we're on our way. Whoa, on a journey today. Whoa, Thomas can take us there. Whoa, as long as we have a fare. Thomas can take us there. Change the signal, change the points, all the pistons and all the joints, all the engines in tip-top shape. Let's get them going, they can't be late. Here comes Thomas down the track, around the corner he'll soon be back. Chug and puff, the tracks are clear, clang and hoot, the station's near. Whoa, let's go, we're on our way. Whoa, on a journey today. Whoa, Thomas can take us there. Whoa, as long as we have a fare. Thomas can take us there. Today. Whoa, Thomas can take us there. Whoa, we're on a journey today. All aboard!
Too many fire engines. One day, Thomas was taking the Fat Controller and a team of railway inspectors around the island.
Okay, all in good order.
Our next stop will be the Sodor Search and Rescue Centre, Thomas.
Yes, sir. We're on our way.
At the Sodor Search and Rescue Centre, Belle and Flynn were waiting to be inspected.
See? I can reach that tall tree on the slope.
So, I can reach it too. And the one behind it.
And these are our two fire engines, Belle and Flynn.
Oh, I see.
Belle has had water cannons fitted to her boiler for firefighting, as you have already seen demonstrated, Belle.
Sorry, sir.
Yes. Very impressive.
Flynn, on the other hand, has a special water tank for his hoses and water cannons. And he is able to run on both rail and road.
Right. This is how I switch from rail wheels to road wheels.
Well done. Very useful. But tell me, Sir Topham Hatt, do you really need two fire engines? Wouldn't one be enough?
One fire engine would do for a very small island, but 2 fire engines are much safer than 1.
I see.
Fair point.
Aha! The real thing! The alarm has sounded!
There's a fire in some sheds near Wellsworth. You must go.
Belle set off for Wellsworth at once, racing off along the rails. But it was quicker to get to Wellsworth by road, so Flynn used his road wheels instead.
Fiery Flynn, to the rescue! I'll be there faster than fast!
Flynn could see the smoke from the fire ahead. He was getting near when...
Oh no! What a time to get a flat tire!
But there was nothing Flynn could do. He had to watch and wait. As Belle arrived at the scene of the fire and put it out all by herself. The railway inspectors were very impressed.
Belle is an excellent fire engine.
Really useful.
Well done, Belle.
Very impressive. You do make the island feel safe.
And Belle was very proud.
Thank you, everyone.
But Flynn was disappointed.
Instead of coming to the rescue, I needed to be rescued myself. Sorry, Butch.
Don't put yourself down, Flynn. You'll get there next time.
You're right, Butch. I will. After all, it was only a flat tire. I'm still Fiery Flynn.
A few days later, the alarm sounded again.
Harold spotted a forest fire near Arlesdale End.
Is Belle going?
She's not here, Flynn. Only you.
I'm on it. Fiery Flynn to the rescue.
The rails were fast and smooth. Flynn knew he wouldn't get another flat tire.
Can't stop, Thomas. There's a fire to put out.
Flynn could see the smoke from the fire ahead. But there wasn't very much smoke. In fact, it looked more like steam.
Hello, Flynn.
Belle, you've already put out the fire. Why didn't you wait for me? I could have helped you.
Fires are emergencies, Flynn. You know that. You can't wait if there's an emergency.
But Flynn was disappointed again.
Never mind, Flynn. It wasn't a very big fire.
What you mean is, you didn't need any help. You did it all by yourself. Maybe the inspectors were right. Maybe the Fat Controller doesn't need 2 firefighting engines.
A few days later, Thomas came to see Flynn with some exciting news.
There's going to be a fireworks display tonight, Flynn, at Ulfstead Castle. And the Fat Controller wants you to be on duty in case of fire.
Why don't you ask Belle? Belle can put out fires. She doesn't need any help.
The Fat Controller said to ask you. After all, you're Fiery Flynn.
The Fat Controller doesn't need 2 fire engines, Thomas.
So Thomas went off to find Belle instead. Later that night, Thomas took visitors up to Ulfstead Castle to see the fireworks. Belle was there too, on guard in case of fire. But Flynn wasn't. He was back in his shed at the Sodor Search and Rescue Centre, feeling sad. Thomas waited in the castle station and watched the fireworks. It was very exciting.
Cinders and ashes.
You mean gunpowder and chemicals? That's what fireworks are made of.
And Belle kept her eyes open in case of...
Fire! Fire! Come on, Flynn. Get ready to rescue. There's a fire.
You don't need me, Butch. Belle can put it out. She's already on guard at Ulstead Castle.
But the fire's not at Ulstead Castle. It's at Brendan Docks. Belle can't go. She has to stay at the fireworks.
Really?
Come on, Flynn. We need you. You're the only engine who can put out the fire.
Okay, I'm ready. Fiery Flynn to the rescue!
One of the harbour storerooms was on fire at Brendam Docks. But luckily, there was a fire engine to put the fire out.
Fiery Flynn, at your service.
A fire engine with a water tank for his hoses and water cannons, who was able to run on both rail and road. Soon the fire was out. Flynn started back to the search and rescue centre. Belle was still keeping guard at Ulstead Castle. As Flynn travelled, he saw the fireworks high above him. He knew that Belle was keeping the other side of the island safe.
I guess the Fat Controller really does need 2 fire engines to keep the island safe after all.
And everybody knows you can never have too many fire engines. Can you guess who this is? Keep guessing. Did you guess? It's Charlie. Can you guess who this is? Keep guessing. Did you guess? It's Flynn.
Can you guess who this is? Keep guessing. Did you guess? It's
Belle.
Thomas's shortcut. It was a sunny day on the Island of Sodor. Thomas was pulling Annie and Clarabel on his route. They met Bertie coming along the road.
Hello, slow coach.
Ignore him, Thomas. He's teasing again.
But you're not slow coaches. You can go very fast.
He's not talking about us.
Look at that. 2 minutes early.
Good thing I hurried you, or you would have been late.
That's not true. I always get my passengers to the station on time.
You must be slowing down, though, Thomas. Lately, I seem to beat you to the level crossing every time.
I'm not slowing down. I'll show you. Let's race again.
Thomas and Bertie think racing is great fun. Sometimes Bertie is quicker. especially when Thomas has to wait for sheep on the line. And sometimes Thomas is quicker, especially when Bertie has to stop for workmen repairing the road.
Slow down, Thomas. You'll burst a valve. You'll rattle an axle loose.
I'm going to win! I'm going to win!
But lately, every time they have a race, no matter how fast Thomas puffs,
Oh, no!
Bertie manages to win.
You really are very slow these days, Thomas.
Thomas couldn't understand it. Why was Bertie always there first?
I was going faster than ever.
Later, Thomas met Bertie again, but he wasn't sure if he was happy to see him.
Don't be cross, Thomas. Should I tell you my secret?
What secret?
I've been rerouted. Now I take a shortcut, so my route is much quicker.
Thomas was very surprised. He didn't know Bertie could take a shortcut. That night, Thomas was very cross.
It's not fair. I like to race Bertie, but he's been rerouted.
What does rerouted mean?
It means to go a different way to the one you usually go on.
What's wrong with that, Thomas?
Bertie takes a shortcut now, so he always wins.
Then an idea flew into Percy's funnel.
So, why don't you take a shortcut too, Thomas? Then you could be rerouted just like Bertie.
Thomas thought that was an excellent idea. But Annie and Clarabel didn't.
But there's no shortcut on your branch line, Thomas. If you go another way, you could miss a station or make your passengers late.
But Thomas was determined.
If Bertie can be rerouted, so can I.
Thomas arrived at Dryall Station, just as Bertie was arriving too. Some passengers got off, and some more passengers got on. But as soon as he could, Thomas rushed away again.
Bye-bye, Bertie.
See you soon, Thomas.
He didn't want to lose another race.
If Bertie can be rerouted, so can I.
Thomas came to a junction where the tracks were already switched.
Maybe that's a shortcut.
But he only ended up running along a loop siding and coming back onto his branch line again.
Oh!
Then, Thomas found another track that led away from the branch line.
Maybe that's a shortcut.
We don't think so. We don't think so.
This time, Thomas ended up in an old goods yard.
Oh, dear. That's not a shortcut either.
We told you so. We told you so.
The passengers were grumbling. But Thomas didn't want to give up. Finally, Thomas spotted an old track that led into the woods.
This must be a shortcut.
There is no shortcut, Thomas.
Bertie was waiting for Thomas at the level crossing.
He never usually takes this long.
Bertie's passengers were starting to grumble too. So Bertie went on his way again. Thomas pushed his way along the overgrown track. Annie and Clarabel were not happy.
Thomas, please! Where are we going?
Don't worry. This shortcut is going somewhere. We'll be out of the woods soon, and then...
Thomas had hit a rotten buffer in the undergrowth, and his wheels had come right off the track.
Oh, no! I can't back up! I'm stuck!
The passengers were not happy. Now they were going to be very late indeed. Thomas felt terrible. And then he saw his friend Bertie.
Hello, Thomas. What are you doing in there?
I was trying to find a shortcut, Bertie, but I've come off the rails. And now my passengers will be late.
Oh, dear. But maybe I can take your passengers for you.
Thomas's passengers thought that was a very good idea indeed. But Thomas still felt very silly. It was almost dark when Harvey came to shunt Annie and Clarabel out of the way, before lifting Thomas back onto the rails again. The Fat Controller was very cross.
Your passengers don't like to be late, Thomas. You have caused confusion and delay.
I'm very sorry, sir. I was hoping to find a shortcut, but I will stick to my branch line from now on.
A few days later, Thomas was back on the track. He arrived at Knapford Station to pick up Annie and Clarabel.
Thomas! Welcome back! We missed you!
Thank you, Annie and Clarabel. I missed you too.
Thomas promised to stick to his branch line in the future. He wouldn't try taking shortcuts again.
See you later, slow coach.
But he and Bertie still like to have races. And sometimes Thomas even wins.
Points. This is a busy steam railway just like the one on Sodor. All day long, engines puff up and down the tracks, taking passengers where they want to go. There are many different tracks, and each track goes somewhere different. Sometimes, an engine must change tracks to get to where it needs to go. They can do this on special sections of track called points. Points are very clever. They are part of the track that can move. They help the engine's wheels roll from one track to another so the engine can puff to the right place. When an engine needs to puff from the main line onto a branch line, it changes track at the points. One of the best places to see the points working is at the end of a railway line, where the engine needs to turn round and pull its train the other way. The engine puffs into the station and the passengers leave the train. The fireman uncouples the steam engine from its carriages. The engine puffs off, leaving the carriages behind. Now, the engine needs to move onto the other track so it can chuff to the other end of the train. The signalman watches closely and knows when the engine is ready to change tracks. The signalman pulls a lever in the signal box. The lever moves the points from one side to the other. They make a good sound, don't they? Now the points have been changed, the engine can puff from one track to the other. The engine chuffs back down the line to the other end of the carriages. Now the engine needs to move back to the first track again. The signalman in his signal box pulls a lever to move the track again. And the engine can puff back onto the same track as the carriages. The fireman couples the engine to the carriages. And now the passengers are back on board, the engine can puff out of the station and be on its way. Points are a very important part of the railway.
Bill or Ben? Bill and Ben are tank engine twins. They look very alike. Very alike indeed.
Morning, Ben! Morning, Bill!
That's why they have nameplates on their sides, to show which one is Bill and which one is Ben. Bill and Ben like looking alike, because that means they can play tricks on the other engines. One day, Bill and Ben were making their way along the main line when a very fast engine came across the junction in front of them and gave them a big surprise.
Who was that, Bill? I don't know, Ben. Thomas, did you see that very fast engine that just went past?
You mean Connor? He's one of the new streamlined engines, bringing passengers from the mainland.
He must be very full of himself, racing about like that and surprising other engines.
Connor's not full of himself. He's a very friendly engine.
But Bill and Ben didn't listen to Thomas. Bill and Ben were passing through Henry's tunnel when...
Hello there!
Connor passed them again, coming back the other way.
Was that him again, Bill? I think it was, Ben. Ooh, maybe we should teach that Speedy Wheels a lesson, Ben. Maybe we should, Bill.
So Bill and Ben made a plan to play a trick on Connor. The next time Connor came across the bridge from the mainland, Bill was there waiting for him.
Hello, Speedy Wheels.
Hello there. I'm Connor.
And I'm Bill. How about a race, Connor? You and me, up to Ulfstead Castle.
I can't race you, Bill. That wouldn't be fair. I'm way too fast. Maybe if I only used one piston.
One piston? Nonsense. You go as fast as you like. You'll be surprised how fast I am. Very surprised.
Okay, Bill. If you say so.
Go!
The two engines hurried off, but Bill was quickly left far behind.
What a silly tank engine. Thinking he could beat a fast, modern, streamlined engine like me.
Connor arrived at Ulfstead Castle. He was surprised.
What took you so long? I thought you'd be fast.
Connor thought it was the same engine he had seen near the bridge. But it wasn't Bill, it was Ben.
How did you do that? I didn't see you pass me.
I was probably going so fast, you would have just seen a blur. Don't worry about it. We can race again. Back to the bridge, perhaps.
You're on!
So the two engines got ready to race again. This time, Connor wasn't taking any chances. He was so determined to beat the little tank engine that he didn't see the signal turn red until it was too late. Then there was trouble.
Henry, watch out!
Connor, you need to watch where you're going. You almost hit me.
Connor's relief was short-lived, because just then, the Fat Controller arrived.
I don't know how they do things on the mainland, Connor, but safety comes first on my railway. No engine is allowed to pass through a red signal.
I'm very sorry, sir. I won't do it again, but...
Then Bill came along.
Oh, dear. What's happened here, sir?
And so did Ben.
Oh, no. Has Connor broken down, sir?
There are two of you. You played a trick on me. You aren't really faster than I am.
Bill and Ben, I might have known you two would be behind this. It's high time I put a stop to your tricks once and for all.
The Fat Controller sent Bill to the Steamworks to be repainted a different color, so that everyone would be able to tell Bill and Ben apart.
Hello, Bill. I've been expecting you. I believe you're here to be repainted.
I'm not Bill. I'm Ben. You must want my twin, Bill. I'll go and get him.
Oh, no, you don't. You're trying to trick me, just like the Fat Controller said you would.
So Bill was painted a different color.
Look at you!
Bill wasn't happy. Now he and Ben looked different. It was no fun at all. Then Ben had an idea. The next day, Ben came to the Steamworks when Victor wasn't there.
Hello, Kevin. I'm Bill. I'm here to be repainted. The Fat Controller sent me.
Bill? But you were repainted yesterday.
Really? I don't remember that. Surely I should be a different colour if I'd been repainted.
Maybe you should wait, Bill, until Victor gets back.
Or perhaps, if you won't let me be repainted, I should tell the Fat Controller.
No, don't do that. Oh, you'd better be repainted, Ben.
You mean Bill?
I mean Bill.
I like the new colour, Ben. It really suits you. Suits you too, Bill.
What is going on here? Kevin?
By the time Victor came back, it was too late. Bill and Ben were already the same color.
Tricked you!
Bye-bye!
Sorry, boss.
Bill and Ben were on their way again when they saw Connor up ahead.
Oh, look, Bill. There's Connor. Maybe he wants to race with a freshly painted engine. Well, Ben, I believe I was the one sent to be repainted. I'll see if he'd like to race back to the Steamworks. Hello, Connor. Recognise me? Care to race again?
Now that I know there's only one of you that colour.
Sure. Back to the Steamworks, then.
I'll see you when you finally get there.
Maybe sooner than you think.
Oh.
Not so slow, coaches. There's nothing Thomas likes more than pulling Annie and Clarabel along his branch line. But even though his coaches are very faithful, they do sometimes complain, especially when Thomas goes a bit too fast.
He's doing it again, Clarabel. I agree, Annie. He's going dreadfully fast.
I can hear you two.
One day, Annie and Clarabel were complaining as usual.
Thomas, slow down! My couplings are clattering.
So Thomas decided to be a little cheeky.
Oh, dearie me, what are you doing, Thomas? Now you're going too slow. You'll need to speed up if you're going to get us anywhere on time.
But I thought you wanted me to go slowly. Oh, well, if you want me to go fast...
Clattering carriages? Oh, that's much too fast. Cheeky Thomas. Cheeky Thomas.
By the time Thomas arrived at Dryore Station, he was running rather late.
Cinders and dashes! I'm supposed to be taking some trucks to the quarry after this.
Meanwhile, Caitlin was pulling into the shunting yard. Caitlin was a very fast engine indeed.
Hello, Caitlin. What are you doing here?
I've been going so fast. I've loosened some bolts, Charlie. I need to go to the steamworks and get them tightened. Can I leave my coaches here and come back for them later?
Sure thing, Caitlin.
As Caitlin pulled away, Thomas arrived at the shunting yard.
Sorry, Annie and Clarabel. I'll have to leave you here for a while. I'm late for the quarry.
Well, if you hadn't been messing around, Thomas, this wouldn't have happened. Yes, too much going too fast, then too much going too slow.
Thomas hurried up to the quarry as fast as he could.
Thanks, Thomas. Empty trucks and just in time.
You're welcome, Mavis.
Then he hurried back from the quarry. But Caitlin came back to the shunting yard first.
I've come to collect my coaches, Charlie.
Coming, Caitlin. Oh, I've got a joke for you. How do bees get to school?
I don't know.
On a school bus!
Charlie was so busy joking, he accidentally shunted Annie and Clarabel over to Caitlin, along with her own coaches.
Oh, Thomas must be back. About time, too. Oh. Now, don't go too fast, Thomas. Thomas? You're over there! Well, if he's over there, then who is pulling us?
Fizzle filling fireboxes! Wait, Caitlin! Come back!
This is the fastest we've ever been! I don't like it at all! I've got my eyes closed! Does it help? No, not really.
At last, Caitlin stopped at Wellsworth Station.
Thank goodness for that!
Hello, Connor. How about a race up to Ulfstead Castle?
Oh dear, a race! Please say no. Please say no. Please say no.
You're on, Caitlin.
No!
Ready, steady, go!
You'll never beat me, Caitlin.
We'll see about that.
I'll never complain about Thomas again! Nor will I!
If I ever get Annie and Clarabel back, I'll never tease them again.
Thomas puffed as fast as he could, but before he could get up to Ulfstead Castle,
Caitlin!
Thomas!
Annie! Clarabel!
Caitlin was already on her way back, heading for the mainland.
Oh, no!
Thomas had to stop Caitlin before she went over the Vickerstown Bridge to the mainland.
Oh, no! I'm too late. I'll never be able to catch up with Caitlin now.
Hello, Thomas.
Hello, hero.
It's a good thing I've stopped Caitlin. She was taking your coaches away.
Annie and Clarabel! You brought them back! Thank you.
Yes! Thank you, hero. Thank you indeed.
Oh, Annie and Clarabel, I'm sorry I teased you.
And we're sorry we complained about how fast you were going. We'll never do it again.
Thomas wanted to go even faster, but he was so happy to have Annie and Clarabel back, he just smiled.
Although you are going a bit fast now.
Much too fast, if you ask me.
You're so right, Clarabel. Much too fast.